Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a Twist. And I'm going to do the really cute Fluffy Squirrel Bundle. Oh my gosh, it is so adorable. As you can see, I do have a few squirrels behind me. I showed those on one of my antiquing trips or whatever. And I just pretend that that's me and Jeff and Eric back there as squirrel people. So that's just, my studio has all sorts of weird stuff around. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So during the video premiere, I am in the chat room, so head on over there. That's where I'll be with my friends. If you're watching the replay and you have a question or a comment, leave it below. YouTube will let me know and then I can reach out to you. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I won't chat too much at the beginning because I'm going to do two projects. So the first one, in case you are new, Mimeograph Monday with a Twist is basically the first. I'm making two projects. One is I case as close as I can to one of Stampin' Up! Projects. Sometimes this is just out of my online store. Maybe it's off of a flyer. This time it's in the mini catalog. And then I do a twist. And sometimes it's close to being that way. Sometimes it's way different. But this has been really fun. So I will be doing two projects. So I'm going to get started. So close your eyes just a second while I get my camera adjusted. So this is the Fluffy Squirrel. And it has a coordinating punch with it. So cute. And the card I'm going to do is this one right here. This is on page 49 of the mini catalog, and it is so cute. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. All right. So I made one ahead of time, so I'm just going to have it off camera so I can kind of look at it. All right, so we have, now I did have to change a little bit because I did not have the DSP that they used that was on the card. So I just picked something that was close enough, and I think it looks cool, anyways. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. So this right here, it's got some pattern on it. You've got this little thing here, which almost reminds me of like a beaver tail. That's what that kind of reminds me of. But anyway, so we're just going to put that design on some pretty peacock cardstock with the Versamark pad. And I'll be honest, I haven't used Versamark in quite a while. It's a great pad. You can emboss with it. I've done some different techniques with it, but this just basically is, it makes your cardstock be a shade darker. So see how it just put that design on there, and it's just a clear pad, so that liquid just makes everything be a shade darker. So I'm just quickly stamping that on there. But like I said, it stays sticky, so you can emboss with it with your embossing powder. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to set those aside so they can dry. Okay, let's put our greeting. Now, my little greeting is with Memento, and it's the May You Gather Happiness. But you know what? Hang on a second. I forgot. All right, I was like, where do they use the blending brush? And they blended a little crumb cake in the center of this circle. So I kind of like to do it before I stamp. All right. So may you gather happiness. Okay. We're also going to do some stamping with the memento. All right, now it was too funny. Of course, I picked the card that did not use the squirrel punch itself. I'm using the acorn, but it doesn't actually punch out this squirrel because he's the other direction. So I'm just going to have to fussy cut him out, but he's super easy to fussy cut out. All right, so we have our little log that he's sitting on, and I'm doing this in memento. And then I'm just going to sit him on the log. And then what's cool is it's two-step stamping. So I could color him totally in with the memento if I wanted, but I'm going to use the pecan pie. And then you have this solid image. And we're just going to stamp it right over top. And then my little squirrel is all colored in. So isn't that fun? So you could do like a gray squirrel. I mean, any color squirrel, right? All right. Now what I also want to do is, okay, so I'm going to set this aside. I'm also going to stamp some, just some squirrel on my pecan. And you'll see why in a minute. So I'm just kind of stamping some different pecan colors around there. All right. Then I'm going to flip this over because it's got that Versamark on there drying. Okay. This is what our little squirrel's going to go on. So we want the light peacock, and they've put a little ground under here. So I'm just going to, this is where my little squirrel's going to sit. So they just kind of drew some ground. And then they took the color lifter to lighten that up. So I'm just going to go over it with the color lifter. And that's just going to make that not be so dark. All right. We also want the little daisy. So I'm going to take the daisy with the memento. And I'm just going to stamp a couple little daisies around. And there's also some little daisies that the squirrel's holding. So he's kind of got this up to his face. Maybe he's taking a little bouquet to his girlfriend or something. All right. And I'll color that in a second. What else do I need to do? All right, now I think I can start kind of putting things together. Okay, so let's bring this back. I'm going to color my whatchamacallit. Good grief, Diana. Use your brain. My stump, my log. So I'm just going to give it some dark crumb. Okay. And then I'll take my light crumb. Just put a little light here and there. There's also a little light crumb on the belly of the squirrel. Excuse my reach. All right. The little daisies have timid tiger and daffodil. And they're small enough, I am not worrying about using light and dark and all that stuff. Okay. And then I want to cut out my little squirrel. And I'm just going to leave a little border around the squirrel. I guess I went a little close there, but that's okay. He is so cute. I love the two-step stamping ones because it just makes it so quick. I mean, I love to color, but at the same time, look how cute he is with all the little, like, you know, where they just missed, so he really looks furry, right? All right, so I'm just going to cut these out. Now I'm not going to go cut this part out. I'm just leaving that in there. And we're going to put parts of the card together with dimensionals. Okay. So he's going to go on this little tag here with some dimensionals. So he's just going to sit right there amongst the daisies. All right, now let's bring this over. So I also want some crumb. So I'm going to use the punch. I do want to use the punch for the acorns. So I'm going to punch out one. I'm just doing the edge here. 3. So then I'm just making sure that I'm laying them right on here, because I'm also going to punch them out of this pecan paper that I stamped the squirrel on, just to give a little bit of texture and stuff to the top of my so see how it adds a little texture to my top of my, whatchamacallit, my acorn. Okay. Make sure I don't lose all those. Get all my bits out of here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the top off the acorn, and then we're just going to simply glue it onto the crumb one. I'm just going to take a little green tip glue, just put a little bit there, and then I'm just going to drop this on top, and it looks so cute with that little bit of pattern stamped on there. So see how now it has a little bit of a pattern on there, so it's not plain, because I kept looking at the one in the catalog and I'm like, well, is that what they did? So that's what I ended up doing. If that isn't, it worked. So that's fine by me. Because look how cute the little acorns are. They're so adorable. Okay. And I am going to take a little of my crumb blend, my dark, And I'm just going to put a little dark around that side there. So now we can put our card together. So this is just Pretty Peacock as our card base. And then this is that piece that I changed because it was supposed to be the Regal 6x6. And usually I buy all the colors in multiples and then I don't use half of them. So this year I tried to behave and I just bought the one that I was using at the time, and I haven't ordered the other ones because I haven't used them yet. And of course I was like, oh, this could have used the Regals, but this looks just as good. All right, and then these are just going to kind of go back here. So this one I'm going to glue flat because I'm going to pop the other one up. So this one I'm going to pop up. So Jeff had to go get his emissions done today. I don't know if you're in where you live, if you have to do that or not. And I think it has to do with the heat or something, and I don't know. But anyways, because I don't remember us having to do emissions in Illinois. Not that I lived there very long. All right, that's just going to go in there. But you have to do emissions and have your vehicle checked to make sure, you know, you're not polluting the atmosphere before you can get a new sticker to put on your license plate. All right, so that just gets on here directly because this has the dimensional, but I'm not going to worry about this because he's glued on there pretty good. I am going to take a dimensional though, right here, and I'm getting down to the end of them, and right here, because that's where my greeting's going to go. So the greeting just kind of goes up here, and then that will hold this still, so I don't feel like I need to put a dimensional on that. All right, I'm also going to put some dimensionals on my cute little acorns. So I'm just going to use some of those ones I cut in half because they are perfect. So we're almost done Stampin' Up's version, and then we can get to my twist. All right, so we've got this little acorn here. Then we have this little one there. Now I think you could also use the little, you could use the little beaver. Like I think these would look cute also on the top of the acorn. All right, so look how adorable that is and how quick he was to make. Now I didn't do anything on the inside. All right, so now let's do my twist card. Okay, so for my twist, I'm going to use that same squirrel, but I'm also going to use the other one. So we have our little log, and this is the other squirrel. So this is the one that will get punched out. Okay. So I'm going to do coloring with the memento again, or I mean with the blends, so I'm stamping with the memento. And I'm putting him back on the log. I love him sitting on that little log. All right, now I am going to switch out the color of this guy. I'm going to have him be crumb so that they're not the same color squirrel. This guy's Crumb. And I'm gonna do this guy Pecan again. Just so that they don't look identical. What else am I gonna do? So I haven't made this card ahead of time. I'm making it kind of as I go. I mean, I have the idea in my head. All right, and then I'm gonna take my light petal and put a little on the belly. Okay, and my light flirty in their ear hole. Okay. And I'm going to color my log a little different. So I'm going to go 600. And then I'm going to put 400 here and there. Okay, that just gives it, a little more depth, I think. All right, so now this squirrel can get punched out with the punch. Let me see if I put him in there right. And then I'll fussy cut out the other little guy. Okay. And he's pretty quick to fussy cut out. But I thought I would do a fun little scene card with these two. So I had to pull out some fun DSP. I'll let you see if you can guess what I picked while I'm cutting this little guy out. So hopefully if this bundle was on your not sure list, that these couple little cards will make you go, you know what, I think I do need a little squirrel in my repertoire of stamps. Alrighty. So let me close a couple of these pads really quickly so we can put our card together. Alright, so what I did do was I went over to my stamp cupboard and I found the super cute, turtly cute DSP because it's got this fun little park scene, and I thought this would be adorable with the squirrels. So these are just some of the Memory and More cards. So they're a little bit bigger. You get two sizes. This is the 4 by 6. Well, it's probably 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I'm gonna put some Poppy Parade. I'm going to back this with Poppy Parade because I'm going to stamp a greeting with Poppy Parade. So I just kind of want it to, have a little bit have a little bit of color there. Okay. All right. And then we'll just stick that on our card, and then we'll start building our scene. Okay. Now on the inside of the card, I just used a couple of the balloons that came from the sticker sheet from the Turtley Cute, so that there were some little balloons on the inside. All right, so we have our cute little squirrels. So we're going to put those on the page. But then I had fun cutting out a whole bunch of little pieces. So you know how squirrels like to collect nuts, right? Well, what if these two like to collect birthday cakes because it was somebody's birthday? So I cut out, so these are the little guys I did before. All right, so I cut out a whole bunch of kind of birthday things. I've got some hats. I've got a bunch of birthday cakes, some balloons. I wasn't sure on the greeting because this to me is too big. So then I thought, well, if I could stamp on this smaller one, I might do that. So let me bring a grid sheet over here. I want to see if I can do this okay. And get a Post-it note. All right, so we're going to put this here. And this is what I have my Poppy Parade. So I have my Poppy Parade. And I'm going to try to stamp Go Nuts on here. But I don't want to get the It's Your Birthday. All right, let me wash this. I didn't realize it was this close to It's Your Birthday. I didn't realize it was so close. So this might be harder than I thought. All right, so let's get some Scotch tape. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll just put the whole greeting on the inside of the card. There's no mistakes in stamping, only design changes, right? All right, so okay, so now let's do our Go Nuts. Peel this off. Don't lay your hand in that ink that's on that tape. Let's see if this works. Go Nuts. Oh, it did. Totally did. All right, because I would rather have that be on the front. All right, let me throw this tape away before I get that ink all over me. All right. Let me wash this. Because I want to put the It's Your Birthday on the inside of the card. So I'll do the same kind of thing. I will protect card because now I don't want the Go Nuts. Now I just want It's Your Birthday. All right, here goes. I only had one balloon sticker. So cross your fingers. You have your fingers crossed for me? All right, so let's do It's Your Birthday. Did it work? It worked! All right. I love it when things work. All right. So that's the inside of the card. And we could even, this stamp set does come with a little present. So we could put a little present there. All right. So now let's go back to our card. I think the Go Nuts is a greater size for here. This one just covered too much of all my cute little trees, I thought. Alrighty, let's put our squirrels on. Let me get some dimensionals here. But I thought it would be fun for these guys to collect cake instead of nuts. Okay, so we've got this guy here. And this little guy here. You two cuties. All right, and let's put their little hats on their heads. So I did a lot of the cutting ahead of time, just so you didn't have to watch me, you know, cut everything out. All right, I'll just put a little glue. Little glue. Put that little hat on there. And this little hat on him. Kind of askew so I don't hide all his ears. Okay. Then I did these balloons because I thought, you know what, we got to have some balloons in the background. So I just trimmed them. All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back and then just stick the little, I'm not going to have any glue be on the string because it's going to be stuck behind there, so it's not going to go anywhere. Especially with 1.5 dimensional on the balloon. All right. What colors did I get? Yellow. Okay, 2 red. All right, so we've got balloon. So these balloons that have the shorter, I cut off the turtle that was holding it, so his string's a little shorter than, because this guy's all by himself on the page. Okay, so there's one. And we'll put, oh, yes, let's go like that. So it looks like he's holding the balloon. Oh my gosh, Diana. All right, so we're gonna go nuts. And I'm just gonna put that off on the side there. Go nuts. So it's kind of a play on words, right? Because I am not putting one nut on this card. It's all about the cake. It's all about the cake. So how many cakes did, I don't even know how many cakes I cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cakes. Oh my gosh, do you think that's too many cakes? Is that really nuts if I put all of those cakes on there? All right, let's see here. So we have some chocolate ones and some vanilla. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on. Okay, but I think I want to have some be glued direct. So some can pop. So they're just going to kind of be like every which way. So here's one. So they're just kind of cakes here and there. And maybe it's going to be a game. Maybe they have to find the cake. Let's see. Find the cake at the party. All right. So then we have another chocolate. And a vanilla. So we have cakes and more cakes. And then we have another chocolate. I think I might just go. Well, first I was trying to make them hold the cakes. So I even cut out the little mitten that the turtle had on because he was holding a cake and it was just too much. So I think I'm just going to stick this one. I think it's hilarious. I hope you think it's hilarious and not crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to stick this there. So it's kind of behind here. So we have cakes and cakes and cakes. Oh, and I have to put the inside. So then we have the cute little present in here. So let's color him. So I'm just going to do some azure. Oh, Diana. All right. So azure. This is light azure and dark. I'm also going to take some crumbs since I have that out. And put a little, oh wait, wrong crumb. There we go. Put a little crumb aside. And then let's do Poppy Parade as well. So we have light poppy. And you could do like more presents on the front. I could have made that little squirrel hold a present, but I was just like, oh my gosh, these cakes are so adorable on the DSP that I wanted to play with the cake. And I love to color and I love to fussy cut as well. All right, so I'm just going to take my little white gel pen and we're just going to put some little polka dots on our wrapping paper just to make that present look even more adorable. All right, so let's put this on the inside. Now that's still a little wet where I put the gel pen, so I'm going to go backwards and put the glue on the inside of the card. I love these balloons. But isn't this a cute little card? Oh my gosh. Make sure my gel pen's dry. But go nuts. And you could, I don't even know if you could. I even cut out a little ice cream, but I couldn't figure out where I wanted to put the ice cream. So then I left it off. But you could almost go like this, because that would be in place of the O. But, or even the acorn. I think the acorn might be too big to put that in place. But let's see. We have another hat I cut out. Let's see. I might just put it on the inside. Let's just put it on the inside since I cut it out. We'll just kind of put it beside the present like it fell over at the party. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh. So fun. All right. So this is the catalog version. And then this is my twist. So today, like I mentioned when I was talking about the videos, what Mimeograph Monday means, I really strayed from the original card. Like, the only thing that's the same is the coloring of the squirrel. I didn't even put any of the cute little daisies. All right, so let me say, see you later, alligator. Let me know what you think. Oh my gosh, I think this is perfect. Go nuts. It's your birthday. But they're both super cute. The little squirrel is so fun, and I could see doing him in like other colors, like maybe at Christmas time, do like a red squirrel with maybe a green tail, so he's like decorated for Christmas. Because since he's got that solid, you can make that be any color. Or since he's also open line, the two-step, you could easily stamp him on like pattern DSP and paper piece him. So he'd have like some texture and stuff going on as well. So you could have all sorts of fun. All right, so I'm going to stop blabbing. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, and that will be at 3 o'clock, Air time, same channel. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.